So here we go, our first Phenom of the week. Junior quarterback McGwire Albert got some playing time last year filling in for Brennan Armstrong. His first year, his first game as the guy, and he comes out and he showed out, fellas. 5 total touchdowns. You gotta like that start.
Yeah, last year, he really impressed me. Starting for Armstrong early in the season, he impressed me with his arm and his poise and his ability to step in and lead the team right away, even from a backup position. So I knew he would come into this season really ready to go.
So that he was a true dual threat, 3 running touchdowns on the night, threw for a couple as well, both of those to Uriah Schwemley. It also helps to have some weapons, and I think number 3 for them right here, boy, that he's going to be a special kid.
The more of those skilled guys you have, the easier it is.
Here's one more to Uriah in front of the home fans. Nothing better than getting pay dirt in front of the student section right there. Trayvon Raymore, he was a bell cow against Mansfield Senior. You see that 26 carries, just the ability to have that many touches in a game to wear on a defense. How valuable was that?
I tell you right now, that for him to carry the ball that much, that would have been very tough for him last night.
And that's another thing about the Tigers. You come into the game, you don't really know what to expect. You can see it on film, but the physicality of the game you can't duplicate until you get in the game. And if a guy's pounding the ball, running hard, the offensive line's coming off the ball, it takes some time for you to adjust to that if you had not prepped properly for that. So he had a big night this night, and I think I would say the offensive line had to have had a big night also.
Yeah, when you look at it, certainly here on tape, there's some big guys up front for Norwalk. You can tell that they're winning the line of scrimmage, a storyline that I did not think that we would see against Mansfield Senior this year. They got some pretty special big kids as well. Huge night, though, for Raymore. How about Cade Stover? In a loss, even though he fumbled at the end of the game, 25 tackles, and I had numerous conversations on the sideline with some other people that were out watching. You could tell. We were talking a little bit earlier about you should know who the Division I prospect is when you're watching the game. There was no question. Number 8 belongs at Ohio State.
He's a kid that has had really top-notch, top player, Division I capability from day one. He's got the speed, he's got the instincts, and more than anything, he's got the competitive desire. He's played on and has been on a pretty average Lexington football team for the most part, but he still plays with a lot of heart, desire, and is a great competitor.
I think Coach Gerhardt is really trying to do a number of different things and ways to look to move him around to get him the ball this year.
And offensively, he did make a pretty big impact, moved around a lot. He told me that he wasn't a quarterback. That's where he was put. Last year, they tried to put the ball in his hands a lot. No question, though, on defense. From a freshman till now as a senior, he has always been a standout. Let's move on. And how about the Clear Fork offense? 8 touchdowns scored by the offense by 8 different guys. I imagine that has to just drive defensive coordinators nuts. Who do you game plan for? This has to be something that doesn't happen very often.
That's called a balanced offense.
Indeed, yeah. It's spreading it around to 8 different guys. Most teams, I wouldn't even imagine, have 8 guys on the depth chart that you would imagine you could put in on a Friday night.
And the one thing, I got a chance to see a little bit of this game against Fredericktown. Now, Fredericktown was obviously outmanned in this game, but the great thing that I saw in Clear Fork, listen, this is what we expect to do against teams. And, once the game got out of hand, I didn't see a whole lot of, messing around and playing around. They scored, they got off to the sideline, they didn't overly celebrate this. That shows me that they're a team on a mission that has a higher goal than just win week 1. So they were really impressive. They have got great skilled players and great overall talent, and this team is going to go far. I could see that in the little bit that I watched them today.
Last but not least, Jaxson Francz for the Crestline Bulldogs. 3 touchdown receptions in a week 1 win against Buckeye Central. Anytime you can have 3 touchdown grabs, it's always special.
It's tough to score in football games. That's just the fact of the matter. And people don't really realize that because you make it seem so, we're in a highlight age now, so all people see is highlights. But it's tough to score in a football game, especially for a receiver. So to get multiple touchdowns in a game, that really shows how special that receiver is and how valuable he is to his team.
But these are vertical strikes on these touchdowns also.
That's what I like about him. He has the ability to go deep, catch the ball, high point it in one of those situations. So Jaxson Francz may have a big season this year for the Bulldogs. And now that I'm a teacher over there, these players keep telling me, man, they're going to be playoff bound. They've been down for a while, but maybe look out for the Crestline Bulldogs this year.